I'm Tyauna Brown. I am from Vancouver. I was born in Vancouver. I went to King Elementary. My parents actually got divorced when I was a little bit older than 9, and my dad ended up getting custody of us. When I was in high school, I ended up actually dropping out after my sophomore year, and then ended up going up to Alaska thinking that was the next step for me. But as time went on, things didn't really get better. I was pretty much raised to believe that you just kind of suck it up and move forward. And eventually, things come to head, whether you like it or not. And so it was kind of around that time in 2009, I started drinking. To me, drinking was the way to deal with what was hurting and the stress and the anxiety and all that kind of stuff. One day I looked at myself in the mirror and I knew that I had to do something, and so eventually I ended up going into detox. And while I did that, my sons went with their father, which was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. And I was basically homeless. I had nowhere to live. I was kind of staying at my sister's or staying at friends. So December 12th, 2011 is when I officially quit drinking. I made that decision that I was done. Because one of the struggles when your life turns upside down is trying to get help, because I wanted my kids back. I wanted to get better, but then there's always the catch-22. You can't get help from over here because you don't have your kids. But you can't get your kids until you have this. It's just like this vicious circle. And one of the problems was even getting stable housing. Well, it's hard to get stable housing if you don't have, enough money for work, and then it's hard to get work when it just was a lot of things all at the same time. It was over 2 years ago when I went to the orientation for Second Step. And since then, like I said, I started out by myself, and I was just in the middle of trying to find housing I am in a house now. I have all my kids. I actually not only got my GED, but I'm now in my second year of college. I'm actually going to be graduating in the spring, and then continuing on to go towards my bachelor's of social work. But I don't think I had any idea that it would change my life as much as it really has, because I have all my kids, and I was blessed with this wonderful new husband who I've been married for a year now, and he has 3 amazing kids, and they're like my kids too. So that's why I say I have 7, which is great. We're the Brady Bunch, new version of Brady Bunch. I struggle sometimes because for a long time, one of the things that people talked about a lot was my recovery, which is awesome. That's amazing. I'm very happy about that. But sometimes I was feeling like that was my label, how much time I have and things like that. And I wanted people to see me for more than that. I'm somebody that is able to get a bachelor's degree. I'm somebody that is able to have a career and contribute to this, to our city. And I'm somebody who can raise successful kids, who can have a family that breaks this cycle. This makeover, I feel like, is gonna help me match the outside to the inside. So, because sometimes, even though we're growing on the inside, there is something to be said about getting a new hairdo, having a nice outfit. And I think that when you've been through all this, you have a hard time actually doing things for yourself. And which is something how I've always been. I believe in helping everyone, and I kind of put myself over here. And so this is like a time for me to allow people to pour in, which I think would be great. Actually, I feel like because of Second Step, I have been able to have a life that was even beyond what I thought. It's not just about just getting my kids or I feel like a person that I've never been my whole life.